In today's video, I want to share with you step by step exactly what I would do if I had 30 or more pounds to lose, because I've done that. I've lost over 30 pounds. This is me at my heaviest. This is me at my leanest. I currently hold 2 online diplomas in personal training, and I've kept that weight off. Obviously, when I was pregnant, I gained weight, but that's a whole different story. I lost it very, very quickly after pregnancy. And so if I had to lose weight based on everything I know, and it's been my obsession for the last 25 or more years, is how to keep the weight off, how to be fit, how to be healthy, how to eat to maintain weight loss, what foods drive weight loss or not. This has been my obsession. It is my passion. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you, if I were back to my heaviest weight or more, exactly what I would do. Step number 1, I wouldn't even worry about exercise at first. If I had a lot of weight to lose, I would not worry about exercise at first. I'm not saying exercise is not important, but if it was about the weight loss, I would journal exactly what I'm eating, be very cognizant of what I'm eating. You have to be truthful about how much food you're taking in a day. When I was at my heaviest, that was at the age of 18. I should have, by right, according to the hormone gods, I should have been at my leanest, my slimmest, my trimmest. What 18-year-old can't just drop weight? I was at my heaviest because I was emotionally eating. And so step 1, if you have weight to lose, I want you to get very, very super honest about exactly what you're eating in the day. So much food goes unnoticed when we are bored at home, when we are stressed, if we are emotional. There are so many reasons we eat. We eat to soothe. We eat to comfort ourselves. I am an emotional comfort eater. And so when I've got nothing to do in the day, or I'm tired, or I'm stressed, I didn't sleep well, I reach for food to comfort me. And it is a comfort. It is a wonderful comfort. But I'm fully aware of what I'm doing when I'm doing that. So when I gain a kg or 2 or 3, right up to 5 kgs, I give myself that grace to go up and down. But when I do, I know I've overeaten. I want you to just be effing honest with yourselves. Yes, hormones can play a role. So step number 2 I would do after journaling everything I'm eating currently, if I'm overweight, is step number 2, I would go and get my thyroid hormone checked. And if I'm in perimenopause, which I am, so if you're in perimenopause or menopause, I would personally, this is what I would do step by step, I would personally go onto some form of HRT, which stands for hormone replacement therapy. So step number 1, just to recap as we go through the video, be very honest about what you're eating and what you're putting in your mouth. If you can't journal it, please use a food tracker and quickly just track it. Put it into your food tracking app immediately when you eat it, drink it, whatever. Anything that goes in must be tracked. And then you will see the total real picture of how many calories you're eating. Number 2, get your thyroid checked if you haven't already. Get that sorted out. Go into thyroid medication. The thyroid is the one hormone that does play a role in weight loss. If you're in menopause or perimenopause, yes, you will see a little bit of weight gain, but I don't think it's the hormones per se that make you gain or lose weight. It's how shitty you feel when you're in perimenopause or menopause. And when you feel like crap, what do you want to do? You want to reach for that food because it is so comforting. And so that is why I would go into HRT, is for the hormonal support. It makes your brain function optimally. You feel good. You feel like you have energy. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to share honestly what I'm doing right now. I am on 2 pumps a day of Femigel. I'm on half a pump of testosterone gel for women, and I am on 100 milligrams of progesterone at night. That is my HRT. That is all I'm doing, all I'm taking. Plus, I'm on my chronic thyroid medication. Research does say that low thyroid can contribute to weight gain, and so it is valid. I would get it checked out. So once the hormones are in check, and I'm not saying that estrogen and testosterone and progesterone are going to make you lose weight. Just adding the hormones is not going to do it for you. You still have to do the work, but they will help you feel better in yourself. You'll sleep better. Your brain will function better. You won't have night sweats. Your cravings will probably disappear over 2 to 3 months. So when you're feeling more like yourself and more human, then you've got the energy now to really tackle this weight loss thing. And with that being said, you can start the diet at any point in time. But once you've been honest with yourself about what you're eating, your hormones are in check, I would then start to put myself in a calorie deficit. So what I would do is I would look at what I was eating for maintenance and I would cut that back slowly over time. If you prefer a drastic approach, let's say you were eating around 3,000 calories a day on average, just guessing, if you are overweight, you could cut it back drastically to 1,500. That's halving your calories. But it's going to lead to initial hunger because you're used to taking in 3,000 calories a day. So I would approach it in a more subtle and gentle way where I cut back from 3,000 calories to 2,500 calories down to 2,000 calories. I would let the weight drop off, see how I feel, and then I would address that at the point where I plateau, where my weight loss stops. Number 4, along with putting myself in a calorie deficit, is I would be weighing myself and I would be using a tape measure to track my progress. And I know it gets a lot, and I know no one wants to do the work, and I know it's hard, but if you are serious about wanting to lose weight, you must take your waist measurement, take it at the leanest sort of part, the thinnest part, the part where the tape measure snuggles in. Try and keep your measuring point consistent, the tautness of the tape measure consistent, and measure. Today I'm 66. A week ago I was 67. Weight comes and goes, it fluctuates, but if you are overweight with enough weight to lose, you can get down to a point where you can let it fluctuate. And I know that if you're watching this video, that's where you want to get. So use some form of food tracking, keep your calories in a deficit, and measure. The reason you measure is not to torture yourself, make you feel good or bad, depending on what the scale says. It's to give you the data so you know whether what you're doing is working or not. If that's not for you and it pisses you off to stand on the scale or put a tape measure around your waist, please then just feel how your clothes fit. But that can be deceiving with stretchy fabrics, elasticated waistbands. It's not as accurate as some kind of form of real measurement. So that's why I would say that. And then step number 5, once you've bringing your weight down successfully, just with diet alone, I would then start to add in a bit of exercise. The reason I wouldn't start off with exercise, you can if you want, but the reason I wouldn't do it is because cutting back your calories, you're going to feel hungrier anyway. Exercise does make you feel a little bit more hungry as well. I think at first you also want to just see the weight come off and not stress yourself too much with where are you going to fit in the time for exercise. Also, I know us ladies, when we are a little bit overweight, we don't want to go and exercise because we don't want people judging us, looking at us, thinking, oh, look at her roll, look at this, that. So that's how I would approach it. I would lose a bit of weight first, gain some momentum, gain some confidence, and then I would pick a form of exercise that fit into my schedule, whatever your schedule is. So you must be honest and realistic with yourself when you are trying to lose weight. Like I've said in a video before, and I'll link to that video down below if you're serious about losing weight. That's the title of the video. You need to take this journey and make it your own. You have to take ownership of your weight loss. And I know it's not easy. No one said it's going to be easy, but if you want to do it, you have to have that discipline, the motivation, and the drive to get serious about it. So I would add in some exercise that fits in with your lifestyle, whether that be just walking, home workouts, home video workouts. You can play Jane Fonda videos on YouTube right here and follow along. In fact, there are so many brilliant home workout videos right here on YouTube. Load a few up, download them, use them. There is that Fit On app that is brilliant where you can get free workouts. Okay, the music is shitty in the free version. Who cares? Just follow along with the trainer. If you like going to gym and you want to join a gym, do that. If you're already a member of the gym, use your gym membership, but start off slowly. If you're not used to exercise, please do not go balls to the wall all in at first. Go 3 days a week, rest and recover. The next week, do the same. The third week, maybe, if you want to, go 4 days a week, rest and recover, but maintain that calorie deficit. Do not eat more because you are now exercising. Otherwise, you will defeat the point. And so I think you can see where I'm going with this. You cannot lose weight unless you are in an energy deficit. So I don't like to use the word calories because people, calories. Just think of it as energy, food, whichever food you can maintain a diet on is the right food to be eating. Yes, there are healthier foods. The best options are obviously whole grain, whole foods from nature, unprocessed. We all know this. It's obvious. We know whether you want to go vegetarian, vegan, or omnivore or carnivore. That's up to you. I would steer clear of carnivore though. I do believe that we do need some fiber in our diets, and fruit and vegetables, very important. So I would go. This is my personal advice. This is what works for me, what I'm doing currently. I'm omnivorous. I try and steer clear of too much fat, but fat is not the devil. It's not evil. We need some fat in our diets. But if you have more weight to lose, don't lather on the dressings and the oils. Save that for when you are already down to a weight that you are happy with. I would include lean meats. I would include fruit and vegetables. I would include oats, rice, a little bit of pasta, portion control, but I would keep tracking calories until it became habitual, until I knew roughly that what I was eating in a day, I could eyeball it. Another important tool that you could use, I would use it if I had weight to lose, this is an optional thing, is use a food scale and weigh and measure your food so that you have a rough idea of half a cup of rice, how many calories are in half a cup of rice. I would actually do that. The reason I say all of this, and I know you're getting overwhelmed, it sounds like a lot of work, is because you want to take it seriously, you want the data, you want to understand what you're putting in, how much weight you're losing. You need to understand the correlation between the foods you eat and the weight you lose. And there's only one way to know that, is by tracking it. If you hate tracking, you don't have to. Remember, there is no weight loss police, but there are things that work and there are things that don't work. If I wanted to really lose weight, definitely a calorie deficit. Now, I would also play around. If I were experimenting on myself, I would play around with 3 meals a day and 2 snacks, or just 3 meals a day, no snacks. I would see how my body responds. I would see how my hunger levels go and my energy levels throughout the day. So I do think you need to individuate what you're eating and how you're eating to how you respond. I would also play around with eating windows. I would attempt fasting. I wouldn't do long extended fasts, but I would play around with different eating windows and see what works for you, for me, in the day. So if you're at a job, you could pre-pack all your meals for the day, take your food to work. It's going to save you time and money. So there are many things you can do, but what I would do is prioritize the food over the exercise. If I could just drum that into your brain, prioritize what you're eating over the movement, and then the movement is a supplementary tool. If you are now confused, okay, I've got the diet on track, I'm in a deficit, I am slowly losing weight. What I would then do, like I said, add an exercise. And now you're starting to think, well, what exercise should I do? And you're in a position where you could either weight train or do cardio. I would prioritize cardio at first. It's because cardio, number one, it's easy to do. It's not confusing. You're not going to injure yourself. You're not going to overwhelm yourself. You can get on one machine or just go for a walk and you can do your cardio, whether that's rowing or swimming, walking, running, using the elliptical. There are many cardio machines. They don't require brain power and thinking. Weight training, you do need either a trainer or you need to know a little bit about what you're doing. You need to know body parts, splits. You need to know the proper form. And so I would say weight training would get it's more the higher level stuff. And weight training, in my humble opinion, is for when you've lost the weight and now you're wanting to build muscle. And I do know that when ladies see the weight go up on the scale, they freak out. Even if it is muscle, no one wants to see the weight go up when you're on a weight loss journey. And so I would do the weight loss thing first, and I wouldn't even think about building muscle. The little bit of cardio movements you're doing, if you're eating enough protein in the day, you will maintain your muscle. You're not going to just lose all your muscle. So I wouldn't stress about that at first. I would prioritize getting the 30 to 40 pounds or however many pounds you have to lose. I would prioritize getting the pounds off first. And when you're at a point where you're quite happy with the weight loss itself, and now you want to maintain, then I would think about proper resistance training. Now I know some of you are going to disagree. Some of you are going to say resistance training is key. I get it. But this is if you are new to the game, you are confused, and you just want the basic step by step. And when I've lost the weight, I would then re-look at things now and say, okay, I'm down to close enough to or at goal weight. Now I want to build muscle. Now I'm ready to advance. Now I'm ready to dial in the diet and resistance train. So that is exactly what I would do if I had weight to lose. I wouldn't get lost in the weeds. I wouldn't sit and worry about specific kinds of diets. I would honestly just track calories throughout the day. I would, though, knowing what I know now, make sure I'm getting in, especially for females, around 100 grams of protein. Now, that doesn't mean 100 grams of the chicken breast itself. A chicken breast contains, on average, roughly 30 grams of protein. So the total weight of the chicken breast is not the total weight of the protein you're getting. So you're going to want to average around 3 servings of protein a day to give you like 30 grams, 30 grams, 30 grams. So like a small steak, a small to medium-sized chicken breast, 1 or 2 or 3 eggs in the morning. Something like that will hit your protein goals throughout the day. And that's why I suggest using a food scale, using a food tracker, because these food trackers are brilliant. They break down how much protein is in each food, how many calories per serving. Just getting your brain to realize, my God, there are a lot of hidden calories in every food. And it's getting your brain to realize that every bit of milk you put into every cup of coffee, cappuccinos, do you know how many calories are in a cappuccino, whether you take sugar or not? It's the milk. It's getting your brain into all of that. I also would not worry about supplementing anything fancy. Make sure you're eating nutritious food that should cover all your bases. If there's a supplement you love, take it, but I wouldn't even worry about weight loss supplements and all that nonsense. It's all bullshit anyway. The only thing I take is creatine because I am doing weight training, resistance training, and it does help with that. You could add that in, but you could leave it. I mean, it's really not the be all and end all for actual weight loss. Calorie deficit, that is how you're going to trigger your body to burn fat for fuel. If you are continually inputting food, you are not going to trigger that fat loss mechanism in your body. Yes, I know, throughout the day, we are continuously burning fat, and then we're gaining weight, burning, gaining, burning, gaining. I mean, it's not like a switch that your body goes, okay, now I'm just burning fat for the next 24 hours. It's not how your body works. Food comes in and then you sleep and you burn. But what you want is an overall daily calorie deficit. Don't overcomplicate it. Please do not overcomplicate it. Keep it simple and you will reach your weight loss goal. And ladies, the final point for psychology here is if you do overeat on one day or you don't get your exercise routine, that is okay. It is a-okay. Do not feel guilty. Do not beat yourself up. Do not throw in the towel and say, oh, well, now I've broken the diet. I'm just going to stuff my face and carry on. Part of weight loss is managing your emotions. And that is something that I would definitely take into consideration. Managing stress, managing emotions, being very conscious of when, why, and what I eat. Please share this with somebody who does need to lose weight and is willing to do the work. Weight loss is not easy, but it is simple. So keep it simple. That is my mantra in life. Keep it simple, stupid. I will see you in the next video. Bye.